All right, get ready. Folks, welcome into the Crossing Swords second intermission show. I'm your host, Ty B, joined again by Dwayne and Joe Conzi Jr. We are here to break down what is the best Sabres performance we've seen in, dare I say, at least a calendar year. It's been 11 days until this season started from the one the Sabres last played, and now they're coming out here looking absolutely amazing. Dwayne, what do you attribute this absolute turnaround performance to right now for the Sabres?
Honestly, Ty, it's all about keeping your chances at the outside, pressuring the points like they've been. They're not giving up a lot of dangerous shots on Carter Hutton. They've like I said, they've kept mostly everything outside. They're playing a very disciplined game. Like I said in the first intermission, it can't be any different than the first period. If you keep playing like that, you'll win this hockey game. And then they capitalize on their opportunities. They score a power play goal. Just like everything that we said pregame and in that first mission, they're doing. You got to capitalize on your special teams opportunities, and that is what they're doing. That Eichel line with Reinhart and Hall is playing out of its mind. The laser Lazar is playing out of his mind. Skinner is just creating chances through individual efforts. I'm absolutely loving it.
Oh, yes. It's been a great performance thus far. I mean, Kanzi, this team, Curtis Lazar, 2 goals, only the second time in his entire career. It's not just the top line doing it, although the top line has looked great so far. Kanzi, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I think we could pretty much give Curtis Lazar's nickname Curtis Lazarson. I mean, he reminds me a little bit of Larson out there, but he's playing a great game today, but tonight. But I'm really impressed with Sam Reinhart. I know there's always going to be those people, those people out there that say he can't drive his own line, but we're seeing that game changer, that high hockey IQ, that vision on the ice where he seems to be right there at the right time. He's got an incredible shot. I mean, Kruger talks about trying to spread out the scoring and spread out the lines, but I think at this point, if this is what's going to generate opportunities for you, you got to roll with it and pick up a little bit of speed because, like Dwayne was saying, before the last game, and we were talking too before pregame, this is a buzzsaw division. You have to get on a roll early and going
Mhm.
down 0-2 and staring yourself, staring down the barrel of which way do we want to go. This was the way that they
Yeah,
should have responded. And
and
they did a great job of
it's
that. So.
interesting too because you look at this Corsi map right now. The game looks it's like it's going back and forth.
Mhm.
It's all over the place. It looks like the Flyers are in this one, but that's not really the case. A lot of these shot opportunities, when you look at it, are coming from the outside. I'm gonna pull up the heat map for you guys in a second on that one. Um, but it's forcing Philadelphia to take these shots from the outside. They're not even finding the net on most of them. And that's why the Sabres, when you look at the shot total, are actually up by at least 10. Dwayne, you got something on that?
Absolutely. Well, leading in to the second period, one of the things I also said was you have you have Carter Hart rattled. Keep putting pucks on him at all angles. Just keep throwing the puck on net. When a goalie is rattled, they're not going to play very well. And that goal rattled. That Curtis Lazar goal rattled Carter Hart
Mm-hmm.
from that terrible angle on the backhand. He played it extremely the wrong way, however you want to say it. Went down to the RVH when he should have stayed on his feet, and you had him rattled. You come into the second period, you keep putting the pressure on. You keep these Philadelphia defensemen on their heels, backing into him, and you kept throwing pucks on the net. Honest to God, even though Sam Reinhart was left alone in front, Carter Hart should have made that save. That's 2 saves he should have made in those first 2 periods.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And we're looking at the chart a little bit over there, and you see exactly why the Buffalo Sabres are having success. You're seeing them score right in front of the net. They're getting these opportunities right in front of Carter Hart and now Brian Elliott. They've been able to keep up that pressure. Kanzi, do you think they're going to be able to put together a full 60 minutes here?
I mean, as of right now, yeah, they look like a team that shows no signs of stopping. And the good thing about this whole thing are line combinations right now. I mean, Kruger has the ability to pair guys with whoever they want for those top two, top three lines. I mean, it's incredible to think about. But I think we're starting. I'd like to see more from Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall got a point this game, by the way. Got an assist. but I want to see a little more out of him, just a little more. I want to see him then start to open up the ice and give him a little more scoring opportunities here. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't see any signs of stopping, and keep punching him in the mouth. Go after it. Put your foot on the pedal, gas pedal, and go.
Oh, absolutely. If the Sabres are going to be able to do that and continue to play with that same sustained pressure, they're getting up and down the ice. They're causing havoc for Philly. They're winning, through the middle of the ice. They're not really having any issues where we've seen a lot of times they're not able to get those breakouts. They're doing it very well this year. I see Creek Degenerate chiming in here talking about Curtis Lazar. Yes, a former first round draft pick, just never really panned out there in Ottawa. Not necessarily, the worst player, but didn't have those numbers that you expect out of a first line player. Dwayne, what do you think you want to see here most out of the Buffalo Sabres here? They have their first lead and they're going into the third period up 4 goals.
Just play the same way you've been playing. Don't back off. Keep forcing these wingers to the outside. Keep pressuring the wingers, the forwards. Keep pressuring the point. Don't let them get those opportunities through from the point. Obviously, Carter Hutton hasn't faced a lot of actions these first 2 periods, but I have to imagine he's really settled in a little bit. He's feeling confident. It's 4-0. He's got a big lead. But let's really get this in the garage for him, because a goalie like him, this will do a lot for his confidence. Finally, I'm not going to say the word. Goalies, you don't say the word. Players, you never say the word because you don't want to ruin it. But if we can get this one in the garage for him, that's going to be an enormous boost of confidence for Carter going forward, especially when we don't know what the deal with Linus Ullmark is right now. We don't know how long he's going to be gone. We don't know what these personal reasons are. I'm pretty sure with the rules that are in place right now under COVID, he is not eligible to play in this next game tomorrow night. So we're either going to get a Carter Hutton again, or we're going to get Jonas Johansson. So it is imperative we come out of this with that word. I don't want to say, because I'm not going to do that.
Yep.
Goalie
So we got a question here from our intern Cullen. Shout out Cullen down in Liberty right now. He said, "What do you think of Jack Eichel's play right now?"
Oh, he's worldly, elite. 2 points. I think he's got 4 or 5 now on the season.
And he's not 100% healthy. You can tell.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, people. And again, I went over the top because after the first 2 games too, is these guys have not had a normal offseason. Yeah, they had a long offseason, but as far as training camp went, they didn't have a normal training camp. So this line with Taylor Hall in it, they've had almost 0 time to really gain any chemistry. They were forced into scrimmage games early. It's pretty much, thrown right into the fire, figure it out, in a short amount of time. So with that being said, you're finally starting to see this line really start to gel together. Obviously, I had to throw Sam up there because things weren't working the first 2 games. I would have loved to have seen Sam figure it out away from Jack Eichel, but whatever. This is where we are. And I saw Skinner sniff the second line there a couple of times. I saw him up there with Stahl a few times. So I like that as well. I'm not sure if that's a permanent thing or if that
No,
was
I think he was long shifting again.
Yeah,
it looks like he spent like 7 minutes on the ice so far with Jeff Skinner, Riley Sheen, Curtis Lazar. They actually are right up there with the Eichel Hall Reinhart line for leading the team in Corsi, both right up at 56%. Whereas the other 2 lines, that second line that we were hoping we would get a lot out of today, we're not seeing much out of between Victor Olofsson, Eric Stahl, and Dylan Cozens. They're getting out Corsied 4-10 thus far, not really getting anything on net, no sustained offensive zone chances. I would really like to see a little bit more. Hopefully they can get going. I don't know if it's Eric Stahl being, a little bit slow. He's losing it with his age or what, but we really need that stout second line center. You don't want to, maybe Dylan Cozens can do it with the way he's playing right now. Like, Dwayne, is that something that's in your mind right now?
I do. I think Cousins is ready to be given more opportunities. I know it's for 3 games in, but there's a big difference between him and Casey Middlestat. Casey Middlestat wasn't ready. His body wasn't ready. From an experience standpoint, he wasn't ready. He should have stayed in college. They rushed him to the pros. So they made the right moves with Dylan Cozens, however you say his last name. The workhorse from Whitehorse. get that on a friggin' blue and royal blue jersey. Honest to God, the workhorse from Whitehorse, that whatever. But I love what I see out of him. Keep rewarding this kid. Keep on giving him opportunities. I honestly, I would love at some point, see him on that right side of the top line.
Yeah, and it's been a great performance thus far from the Buffalo Sabres. A 4-0 lead right now. I can't believe that that I'm saying it, a 4-0 lead over the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm pretty sure everyone and their mother was all over the Flyers in terms of betting, especially when you saw Carter Hutton was going to be stepping in. But in the shots that he's seen, he's come up strong right now, and this is that confidence builder that he might really need going forward, Dwayne.
Absolutely. Like I said, get this in the garage. Get in the garage. Let's get him this swagger, get him this confidence going in tomorrow night. Because honest to God, if you have a third period of like the first two, there is no reason in my eyes, if you're Ralph Cougar, that you don't go right back to Hutton. Go right back to him. Give him the opportunity. He played well. He earned it. And he didn't get a ton of work. It's not like he's gonna be sweating bullets after this game for the amount of work he's put in for those third periods. If the third period is like anything like the first two. So don't be afraid to go right back to him. Don't have him come out for a morning skate, whatever. Tell him to get a good breakfast in, his eggs, his pancakes, his sausage, his OJ. Get him in there tomorrow night, and let's hope for a repeat performance. If this whole thing with Linus Ullmark, proves to be true, where he can't play because of COVID rules. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think he's going to end up traveling to Philadelphia like on his own a day after. I don't think he traveled with the team. So yeah, I doubt we'll end up seeing him. Kanzi, for
He was on the
you.
ice this morning.
Oh, he was okay. So it
was
ended
on
up
the
being
ice.
later on. Maybe he found out something about
Yeah,
his
he was on the
family or
ice.
something like that. So we'll see what's going on. Hopefully, it's not anything long term bad news for Linus Olmark. But looking at right now, we've really struggled finding consistency in that in the net. But right now, Carter Hutton playing well. Where do you stand on that? Right now, so many teams have gone to this two goalie system and they don't want to pay one guy. But we've seen over the last few years it can work out both ways. Looking at the Lightning with Vasilevsky versus some of these other teams who've juggled, two goalies.
Yeah, I think the way I see it is that I think the Sabres are just trying to bridge themselves towards Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. That's just where the stars align here. They're just trying to get this team going, get him competitive enough, and then when he's ready, ease him in. And that's no slight to Linus Ullmark. I like Linus Ullmark. I prefer Linus Ullmark to Carter Hutton. That's just I prefer him more. But I think that when you look at this, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen's net pretty much, and this is just these two goaltenders that are bridging us to get there. Personally, I think you just ride Carter Hutton out, or the hot goaltender right now. And he might be having a great game because Dwayne, he's cutting down on shots. They're cutting down on shots in the defensive zone. So, that helps tremendously too. When, like we said in the pregame show, when you're playing better in front of your goaltender, that's what happens. So seems like communication's there. Seems like they need to continue this moving forward.
The key there is when you have confidence in your goaltender.
Yeah,
right. So again,
Is it more important, do you think, for Hutton's confidence or the rest of the team's confidence in Hutton?
Oh, all together. I think it's more important for Hutton's confidence, because I think you look at those top six that you have and that top line that you have all the confidence in the world offensively for just looking at your line of top six forwards. You're going to score goals. Defensively, it's been lackluster. Not tonight, but it has been before. It's been lackluster. So with all that being said, the common denominator as far as issues with this team goes has been goaltending. That's not a knock against Linus Ullmark. It hasn't really been him. It's been the consistency in Carter Hutton. So getting Carter Hutton this confidence, getting him this swagger, this is absolutely imperative. Get this in the garage for him, for his sake. And that hopefully that'll translate. Remember those hot starts he had the past 2 years?
Yep.
Carter Hutton was a big part of that hot start we had last season, and the 10-game win streak the year before that. So, he has the ability to play consistently, but you just have to play well enough in front of him. He's not the type of goalie who's going to steal you games. It's just not anymore. He's not that guy. You have to play well in front of him, and that's what they're doing right now.
Yep, absolutely. But we're about to get back to the third period. We'll see if the Sabres can wrap this one up, especially for Carter Hutton. Hopefully he can get the one word Dwayne won't say. I'll try not to do it either. I'm not going to jinx him on it. Hopefully Carter Hutton can do it. Let's get this one home for the Sabres, get that first win, and a crucial 2 points here against the Philadelphia Flyers. We only got one thing left.